back, and we are playing Spider-Man PS4. But more importantly, I didn't completely finish my Far From Home little cheat sheet, but uh, still gonna talk about some stuff, and then I'll do a second part. So real quick, we're just going to start off with the suits that we've seen so far in the trailer. So the first suit is obviously the Stark suit. The suit was used in Captain America: Civil War, and then Spider-Man: Homecoming, and it's going to make another appearance in Spider-Man: Far From Home. Now the next suit that we have is the Stealth suit. So in Spider-Man PS4, it's called the Noir suit. Like Batman has a Noir suit. It's basically just like a stealth suit. Um, so right here I have the suit wasn't actually created till 2011, so it's a relatively new suit just in general, even in the comics. So it's pretty cool to see something, coming out a little bit later to still. We'll wear that suit when we're done with this. But it's in my opinion, it's pretty cool to see something, um, so new make an appearance. Uh, this and like I said, like the suit wouldn't even be around for the Sam Raimi movies. 2011. I want to say those Raimi movies from at least the first Spider-Man was made like 2006 or 8 or something. I don't know. So anyway, this is the second suit that we're gonna see, the Noir suit. Uh, so also about this is a suit. Also in the Secret War comics, I think there's a Secret War suit somewhere in here. No, maybe not. Hold on, there has to be a Secret War suit in here. Alright, so this is the stealth suit, and I know I just said the stealth suit. It's really the noir suit, because there's no green, like in the trailer or anything. Oh, here we go. Alright, so in the Secret War, now this is where it gets interesting, because in the Secret War comics, this is known as the Black Shield suit, but this is what he's wearing. So I don't know if, like, when I was researching, like they combined the stealth suit, the Secret War suit, and the Noir suit. But when you look at Spider-Man, you look at Tom Holland, you look at the suit, he's wearing the Noir suit. He's not wearing the stealth suit, and he's not wearing the Secret War suit. He's wearing the Noir suit. So just wanted to clear that up. But like I said, in the Secret War comics, the Black Shield suit was given to him by I didn't write it down. I want to say Tony Stark made it, which would make sense, but not 100% sure. But my theory was, Nick Fury brings the suit when he's coming overseas and meets Peter. But he would bring the Noir suit, not the Secret War suit. So I think there's a little bit of confusion on that research, because by the name, and then by the research, and then by the looks of the suit, we have 3 different suits. So that could get a little confusing, but long story short, it's the Noir suit. My theory is Nick Fury actually brings this suit to give to Peter for when he is battling his array of villains, and the villains will be the next part that we talk about. And then we also have the red and black suit. So let's see. I don't think there's like a really good red and black suit. No, because it's just like the regular suit, but with you know, with black instead of blue. So real quick, this is also another suit that's going to be on the big screen for the first time out of Maguire, Garfield, and Holland Spider-Man characters. According to Screen Rant, Steve Ditko's very first Spider-Man actually wore a red and black suit, but Stan Lee changed Spider-Man to red and blue. And then he's basically wearing, so he's going to be wearing the red and black suit in London and in New York. Alright, so this also hints at, like obviously we know that the entire movie's not taking place in London, but according to some of the background research I was doing, some of the, like you think like, alright, the beginning's just going to be from him getting to New York, like him in New York, then getting to London. But it also, and then you would think like the rest of the movie takes place in London, maybe except for the end, like he comes back or see Aunt May or whatever. But according to some of the research I was doing, it's going to be more of like a 60-40 split, 60% in London, 40% in New York. Not necessarily like 80% of the movie is going to take place in London, and then like not big scenes, like small stuff is going to take place in New York. It actually sounds like it's going to be a little bit more of a split. Not like completely, not like 50-50, but, it's going to be a, more of a split. Alright. I just bought, what was the new suit I just bought? This guy? Yeah, over there. Okay. New suit power.
Mass terrorists reportedly have an armed bomb. Incident was reported near Sugar Hill. Over.
Demons. And they've got more explosives. I'll get the lay of the land from the bomb squad.
Where are they?
Spider-Man, thank God. Demons have rigged explosives all over the building, but we can't get close.
Point me at him, officer. I'm here to help.
We've located the primary device. If you
Alright.
disable it, it'll cough up
So
an army.
the
You
next,
can use that to locate
probably
and
should
disable
not.
the secondary device.
Got it. Keep your men back.
Also,
I'll
like, I
radio when
keep
it's
looking
clear.
down at my laptop. Alright, so I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I will.
Not again! Not on my watch!
Where is that coming from? Oh, Jesus.
Time to get that arming key. Don't think about the block of C4 this is wired to.
Boys, I like completely forget the. How does that work though, bro? Look. Alright, wait, hold on. I think I know what to do.
Great. Disarmed.
Nice.
One down. Secondary bombs are on a timer though. Gotta hurry to disarm them.
Heads up. Snipers on the far roof.
What roofs? Holy shit. I don't really want to do this anymore. Too complicated. Alright. I'm gonna be swinging and swooshing around Le City. Alright, so anywho, before I was so really interrupted. Alright. So let's discuss the villains now.
Prisoners are opening fire from stolen vehicles. Mobilize on Garvey Park.
Alright.
Over.
So the first villain we're gonna talk about is Mysterio. Okay. Mysterio, we all know, is portrayed by Jake Gyllenhaal. Everyone knew Mysterio was gonna appear in this movie shortly after the movie was released. You know, Mysterio's like the big name villain. Okay. But you know, like for anyone who follows Spider-Man, like you know about Mysterio. You know, like I don't really follow the comics, but just from like video games and movies and like you know like talk, like you know Mysterio is one of the bigger villains on Spider-Man's list, right? I would say like you know Green Goblin's like Batman's Joker. But I would say Mysterio's more kind of like say like a Scarecrow. You know, like a lot of people know Scarecrow and Batman are enemies, but you know it's not his priority enemy. You know. So anyway, the first appearance of Mysterio in the trailer actually suggests that he's not completely fighting. He's not completely just fighting Spider-Man. He's fighting the elements, which, actually, you know what? We'll talk about those guys next. But my little, you know what? I'm gonna talk about the elements first, and then I will discuss my theory on what I think. So we're gonna drop down to Hydra Man. I have 7 villains in this movie, and that wasn't even all of them that were predicted. It was just like that wasn't even all that could potentially make an appearance in this movie. It was just what I chose. Hydra Man. So we saw the rise of Hydra Man. One of the 4 elemental villains predicted to also be in this movie after the trailer. You know, like people weren't saying, oh, the elements are going to be in this movie. People were saying Mysterio is going to be in this movie, and so I think that kind of was surprising to see Hydra Man. So just some background on Hydra Man, because you know he's not really one of those top tier villains, at least in my opinion. Like, I didn't know about him, so I did have to do research on him. So I figured, you know what, if I didn't know who it was, I'm sure a lot of other people out there probably didn't know who it was as well. So Hydra Man's real identity is Morris Bench. He was working on a vessel when he fell overboard during Spider-Man's presence. My theory surrounding Hydra Man is we're not going to see Bench get his abilities, but like, you know, we're just going to see him come up, or it's kind of almost going to be like Vulture. Like, we're just going to, you know, see a little bit of him, and then all of a sudden, like, it's Hydra Man, and then you kind of almost have to draw the conclusion as to, like, kind of almost who Hydra Man is, and that kind of stuff. So that's my prediction around Hydra Man. And then we'll go to Molten Man. So the true identity of Molten Man is... Hold on. True identity of Molten Man is Mark Raxton. He was exposed to alien radiation, and he transformed into molten rock, and his ability to generate heat and radiation. His ability is to generate heat and radiation. It just sounded like it didn't come out right. So Molten Man, along with Hydra Man, are confirmed in this trailer. So my theory surrounding Mysterio, Molten Man, and Hydra Man are that... Clutch. My theory surrounding them is almost like it's going to be Spider-Man fighting the elements, but something, and I think it is going to be a little bit more like Vulture with Mysterio, where, hey, maybe we will get some like a little bit more backstory as to what led you know, Mysterio to get his powers or whatnot. So, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Mysterio fighting the elements, and something's going to happen with Mysterio where he feels he's almost responsible for the elements, or something happened with Hydra Man and Molten Man, and so it's really Mysterio fighting the elements, and Spider-Man's just going to kind of be there. And when Spider-Man starts going after Mysterio just to kind of see who he is, my prediction is that at that point, that's when Mysterio is going to be like, yo kid, like, get away from me, and that's when we're going to kind of start seeing like a battle brew almost. But I have a feeling Mysterio is not going to play the main villain in this movie, and I will continue to explain why. So I've listed, I think I have 7 or 8 villains, so we're only through 3, right? So now we're gonna go to Chameleon. All right. So in Screen Rant, according to Screen Rant, in July it was reported that Newman Akar had joined the cast of Spider-Man: Far From Home as a character named Dimitri. Now, for someone who pretty much only follows Spider-Man movies, I'll be straight up, like, I don't read the comics. I would go through phases where, like, I would try to, but I don't know, comics just weren't really, you know, my thing. But comic book readers immediately suggested that he could be playing the character of Dmitry Smerdyakov. Okay? He's better known as Chameleon. Alright, so in the comics, Dmitry Smerdyakov, I think I'm saying that right, I don't know, it's like Russian or something. He's an international spy, and he's been accused of espionage. Okay, although he's casted, my theory surrounding this potential character is that he's going to be more of like a kind of like another low-key character, and he'll come back for an appearance in Spider-Man 3. Obviously, you know, there's no title for a potential third Spider-Man movie. But I have heard from some of like my Marvel like news accounts that the plan for the MCU is after Endgame comes out, Endgame is released, they want to do away with the phases, so no more Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Spider-Man. Ugh. Alright, my bad, guys. I thought I heard someone like scream. It had to be the game. That or I'm going insane. It was probably both, to be honest. Anyway. Okay. So, like I said, so Chameleon's gonna kind of play like I wrote that he would. Hey, bud. I have the camera on, by the way. So, I'm doing my Spider-Man 4 trailer predictions and stuff. So my prediction for Chameleon is kind of like he might play, not really an end scene character, but he's gonna make a couple appearances, and Spider-Man's just gonna kind of like deal with him. So I think that would be pretty cool. But then I think he's gonna make a return in Spider-Man 3.
All units, we have officers pinned down by snipers.
So such as some of the other things I was reading is that Michael Keaton is also casted for this, which means we would be seeing the return of Vulture. Obviously, we all know Vulture's background. He was the main villain in Spider-Man Homecoming. So I think we saw Keaton was in prison. I don't think Vulture is going to play a villain per se, but I think he's going to make some type of appearance, and I don't think he's going to be fighting Spider-Man, because after all, Spider-Man did save his daughter. So even though Peter Parker put Vulture in prison, I still feel like Michael Keaton's Vulture character is going to be kind of just like an anti-hero almost. I don't know if he's doing it just to make an appearance, or maybe he is teaming up in the Sinister Six. He could still, because after they found out who Vulture's true identity was and he was arrested, the daughter left to move to Seattle, I believe, so he could be mad at Spider-Man for tearing apart his family too. There are a lot of different options, so the thing I was saying about the MCU ending the phases is that potentially afterwards, one of the Marvel accounts I follow said that there could be up to 4 Spider-Man movies. So in the third movie, they would introduce 2 more villains, and then potentially now we're going to start seeing a Sinister Six come along. So Green Goblin, Norman Osborn could potentially be that third movie big name, and then we have the Sinister Six led by Osborn. Or like the game, it could be led by Doc Ock, we don't know. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off after Endgame. But then we also have predictions for some of the returning small name villains from Homecoming, such as Shocker, who's loyal to Vulture. Rumor has it if Vulture returns, so will Shocker. And then